Celia. It was an accident.
You can't be serious. I was sitting right here. I saw it all.
Holly, do you think I'd deliberately drop a woman invalid?
She's never been exactly your favorite person, though, has she?
True, but that's no reason to dribble her like a basketball.
Might have been the only way you could see if she'd bounce.
Checks bounce, people don't.
A few of the spa's checks might be bouncing if she decides to sue.
No, that's Lorena's problem.
If the spa goes under, it'll be all of our problems.
I wouldn't predict anything quite so catastrophic.
Well, it doesn't hurt to be prepared. I'd hate to think of you and your magic hands in an unemployment line.
What, these? Never. I imagine these will be enshrined in the Smithsonian Institute or someplace like that.
Your modesty knows no bounds.
Neither does my talent. How about another dip in the jacuzzi?
No, thank you. I think a long, slow recuperation is all that this tendon needs. Hot water just doesn't do it for me.
Perhaps a massage, then?
The doctor said that I should move it as little as possible, and I think a massage would not be a good idea.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't even have to go near your ankle. There's a muscle in your shoulder that, if you work it, it strengthens the legs.
I don't think that...
No. I'll prove it to you. Relax. That's it. Just... can you feel it? Can you feel it strengthen?
Well, I don't know about the ankle, but the shoulder feels terrific.
I knew it would, see? I'll get down.
Well, I can see you're not being neglected.
Oh, Robert, hi. Leo was just giving me a massage.
Yeah, I noticed.
Commissioner, there's something I want to show you.
Wait a minute. Look, I'm not hanging about here. I'm heading home.
Well, just take one more minute.
Hurry.
I will. I'll be right back.
You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
Judging by what I've just seen, I don't think I want to know.
I'm talking more about Leo's treatment of Beatrice.
Well, what happened?
He dropped her.
As a client?
No, I mean as an invalid. He dropped her on the floor.
Well, why did he do that?
To see if she would walk. He thinks she's faking, so he wanted to test it, check her out.
Interesting tactic, but not very smart.
And he wanted to expose her.
Right. And if he doesn't, which I presume he didn't, he risks becoming a clause in Beatrice's suit against the spa.
Well, you might play this down, Robert, but I think it's very interesting.
You're not thinking of becoming involved in this, I hope.
Merely as an observer.
Just keep it that way.
Yes, Commissioner, whatever you say.
Commissioner, I believe this belongs to you.
Huh. What have we here?
I found it on the floor of the massage room. Look right there on the side. You see those little letters, PCPD?
It's one of those, all right. Wonder how it got here.
Well, my theory is that policewoman who frequents here must have dropped it.
Reasonable theory.
Well, at least it's back in the right hands.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Russell.
Anytime, Commissioner. Take care, Holly.
So, I see it pinched it, huh?
It was your theory, not mine.
Yes, well, for somebody who knew better, you certainly jumped upon it, didn't you?
If you care to listen, I have a very good explanation.
Oh, I'm sure you do. But before you give it, you better consult your attorney.
I hope you're kidding.
First, I'm going to read you your rights.
Oh, a little higher, dear. Oh.
Put you to work, has she? Yeah, all for the cause. Beatrice, how you feeling? Any better?
Well, a little more comfortable than the hospital, but the pain is still terrible. Gnawing, persistent, endless.
Well, these things take time.
Yes, you sound like the doctors, and I've had my plate full of them.
Well, you hang in there. I'm sure it'll all work out for the best.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Why don't you just sit down and have a glass of juice or something?
Well, I can't. I've got to get back to the office.
Oh, well, thanks for the ride, darling.
Take it easy, all right? And feel better, Beatrice.
I'll try, dear.
See you later. Jimmy, late.
Oh, Holly, why don't you join us? Come on, sit down, please.
Well, only if Beatrice will give me the latest on Leo. Anything new since the incident by the pool?
Wasn't that enough?
So you still think that he dropped you on purpose?
I think it was on purpose.
And that guy is still denying it.
My theory, he's being paid off by the quartermaid.
To physically hurt you? Really, Beatrice?
Could be a warning. They may have something more drastic in mind.
Not murder.
They have a lot to lose.
Oh, but really, Beatrice, I mean, that's a very serious accusation.
Well, Holly, I think my mother has a tendency to be a bit melodramatic in these situations.
I still think it warrants an investigation, Holly.
Well, you just missed your chance with the police commissioner.
Look, let's not get carried away. I'll tell you what, I'm going to talk to Lorena about this and find out more, okay?
Okay.
Be careful.
You take Lorena, and I will take Leo.
Okay.
Between the two of us, we should be able to find out something.
You got it. You okay? All right.
Shall we pay them a visit?
Lead the way.
Holly, darling, I'm so glad you finally got here.
Oh, it's that late, is it?
Almost noon.
You sleeping in was a mistake.
Well, at least some of us can.
Yes, poor Leo and I have been here since dawn.
Oh, that must mean that business is good.
Or slipping.
Yeah, which is it?
Well, I think I'll...
Lorena
safe
Sharp,
side and-
reception, please. Lorena Sharp, reception.
Sounds like another signing up.
If you're an optimist, I think a pessimist would probably say that it's another cancellation.
Marina, look on the bright side, will you?
I'll try to. Excuse me.
Poor girl's under a lot of pressure.
What do they say about the price of success?
Never cheap.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I want to see my mother.
We're alone.
Not as alone as we could be.
Well, that sounds like an inviting statement.
So invite me.
I've got one more client today, and then I'm free. We can have the whole room to ourselves.
Oh, perhaps you misunderstood me. I only want a massage.
Well, that's all I'm offering.
I know such a long way, and with this foot,
Well, I could carry you.
Oh, I don't think so.
Why not?
You might drop me like you dropped Beatrice.
Oh, no. A smart man never makes the same mistake twice. I would never drop you, Holly.
Well, how can you be so sure unless you dropped Beatrice on purpose?
Now, why would I do that?
My next question.
It's your accusation.
There are theories, of course,
Well, let's hear some.
that you were helping the quartermains to discredit Beatrice.
Now, how would my dropping Beatrice help that? I don't understand.
We were waiting to see if she would instinctively stand on her own.
That's real ingenious. But it's far more insidious than anything I would think of.
Don't underestimate yourself, Leo.
Hey, you're actually accusing me, aren't you?
No, I'm just fishing. My apologies if I've offended you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have offended me. And I'm not sure I'm going to let you off with just a feeble apology.
There must be something I can do.
Yeah, there is. You could say yes to a massage.
Maybe isn't good enough.
So indefinite.
How about maybe later?
It's not much better.
Sorry, it'll just have to do.
This is going to be on your terms, isn't it?
I like the advantage.
Excuse me, I hope I'm not interrupting, but it's time for my massage, Leo.
Oh, Mrs. Farrington, I thought I had another 10 minutes.
Oh, now you wouldn't want to keep me waiting, would you?
No, of course not. Here we go. Don't forget about my invitation. Say no, you may never get a second chance.
Robert, I went to see my husband in prison today. I told him I'm convinced he's innocent.
What are you talking about?
Grant Putnam framed my husband. He bought a nightgown that looked exactly like mine and put it in his closet for my husband to find. Then the carving on the bench, all his doing to make my husband jealous. Also, he's the one who was in the library.
All right, Celia, I'm a little slow today.
But however, why don't we try to stick to the basic accusations? That way it's going to save us a whole lot of time.
Everything I'm talking about ties in with each other. There were the theater tickets, the incidents with Tanya. Everything was geared to break up my marriage so that Grant Putnam could have me for himself. Everything led up to the boat explosion.
Wish fulfillment.
Robert, I'm telling you cold, hard facts.
You're
Don't you
simply
believe me?
repeating everything that your husband said at his trial. Anyway, I'm not going crazy trying to follow this. However, I'm quite prepared to hear you out.
I went to Rockmore.
The place that Putnam made famous?
Yes.
Go on.
I wanted to know more about him. He followed me there, Robert.
Putnam?
Yes. He even destroyed his own records so that I couldn't see them. There's information in there, I'm sure, that could explain all this. Probably information that Dr. Campbell had. My husband said that this was all a setup. Now I'm convinced of it.
Perhaps. If I can just satisfy myself regarding one question, mainly that of your husband's alibi for the amount of time he was supposedly unconscious in the alley. Now, medical evidence does not support the fact that he was out for that period of time. On the other hand, why would he lie if he didn't need an alibi?
I don't know. I can't explain it all yet, but I know he didn't lie.
Okay. Now, just supposing I give you some credence. What do you want me to do at this point?
I want you to reopen the investigation. Help me get him out of prison.
As a favor, I can snoop around for you. I can't launch a full-scale investigation, not till I'm a little more secure about that alibi.
Well, you'll find out I'm right.
Well, in any case, this can't go beyond the two of us. Nobody else must know, and I mean no one, especially Holly. This could be dangerous. We all know what a voracious appetite she has where danger's concerned.
Well, we'll handle it exactly how you want. But in return, you must keep something secret from me. It's something I have to do to keep Grant Putnam off balance.
Go on.
I'm going to get engaged to him. It will look like the romance of the decade, I promise.
You're a hard woman to catch, Holly. I've been chasing you all day.
No need to go to any trouble on my account.
I was under the impression you wanted a massage.
Well, it didn't have to be today.
There you go, giving me mixed messages again.
I can't help it. There's something about you that makes me nervous.
Oh, really? What specifically?
That look in your eye, the tone of your voice.
I've been told the tone of my voice is relaxing.
Maybe that's why it bothers me.
Holly, anybody ever tell you have an overactive imagination?
My husband, once or twice.
Can we leave him out of this one?
I'd rather not.
Well, you're in my hands now, and you're just gonna lay there and relax. How's that?
Very nice.
You're still a little tense, though.
Sorry.
Okay, don't apologize. Just let me do the work. Could you just move your body a little bit to your side? That's it. Here, give me your arm. There. Perfect.
That feels a little better.
You know, Holly, you have one beautiful body. One of the finest I've ever seen.
Forget it. I've already tried it. It's locked.
I wonder why.
I think we both know. Shall I knock?
No, I've got a better idea.
I really don't think...
No. You're gonna love it. Trust me.
No, I really don't think that...
What's going on? It's a false alarm.
Oh, don't worry. Probably for the best anyway. Robert should be here to pick me up any time now. Josh, could you help me back to the lounge, please?
Oh, sure thing, Mrs. Scorpio. It'll be my pleasure. Hey, watch your step.
Amy?
Hello.
Bobby?
Hi, Commissioner. Captain.
Hi, Bobby.
Now, what brings you two by?
Would you be so kind as to page Dr. Anthony Jones for us, please?
I will. Now, is this official business or what?
Look who's here.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Why don't we find out? Celia?
Oh, Robert, Captain Ramsey.
Celia?
What brings you to the hospital?
Well, I was just about to ask you the same question. I'm here to see Grant Putnam, my fiancé.
And I suppose we have Jimmy Lee to thank for that.
Well, it gives us more time to look into Celia's allegations.
Is that why you're here?
Well,
Dr. Anthony Jones to the 7th floor nurses station. Dr. Anthony Jones to the 7th floor nurses station.
that's why we're here,
Excuse me, I don't understand.
to get some medical verification regarding Grant's alibi.
What can he tell you about it?
Well, basically, if it's possible to be unconscious for a period of 4 hours and then wake up feeling only slight grogginess but no after effects.
That's the one part of Grant's story I can't explain.
Neither can anyone else, and unfortunately, it's a crucial part. If he's lying about that, then the rest of it falls apart.
There's an explanation. I know it.
Perhaps Dr. Jones can substantiate his claim.
Hope so.
Would you like to stick around and find out for yourself what he has to say?
I'd love to. Unfortunately, Grant is so suspicious, he watches me like a hawk. I've got to get back to that room or he'll demand to know where I've been and who I've been with.
Do you think he's onto you?
No, I don't think so, but I don't know how much more of this I can take.
Okay, well, look, if anything comes up, we'll get a message to you somehow.
Thanks.
Dr. Jones.
Morning, Commissioner. Captain, did you page me?
You wouldn't have a minute, would you?
Yeah, I've got some time for you. What's up?
I need some medical verification regarding trial testimony.
Okay.
In your professional opinion, would it be possible to sustain a blow to the head, be knocked unconscious for a period of 4 hours, and then come to feeling only slight grogginess?
4 hours?
That's what the man testified.
No, there's not a chance. If you sustain a head injury and you're out that long, you're talking about brain damage. And unless something else is at work, it's somebody's lying.
That's what we're afraid of.
Excuse me, Dr. Jones, you're needed in surgery.
Okay, I'll be right there, Bobby. So, duty calls. Anything else?
No, thank you. You've been a great help.
Okay, back up.
So much for Celia's theory.
Take along some coffee.
Another cup and I'm going to vibrate out of here.
Okay. It doesn't look as if Celia's taking a lunch break.
Not here anyway. Which is a pity because I'd like to inform her of what Dr. Jones's verdict was.
Well, she's not going to like it.
Certainly shoots her notion to pieces that Grant Putnam's behind everything.
Unless Andrews can come up with a better explanation of how come he was unconscious for so long.
But he can't. I mean, he stuck to his testimony. She's just going to have to live with that. Look, I would imagine she's going to be with Putnam for quite a while, so we might as well go back to headquarters.
We could leave a note for Celia at the nurse's station on the 7th floor. I don't like leaving without telling her what's going on. I'm sure she's very anxious.
Yeah, you're right. Why don't we do that?
Dr. Cunningham called the 7th floor nurse's desk.
Jesse?
Hi.
I'd like to leave a message for Celia Andrews. Would you mind holding it for her?
No, fine. She's in with Grant Putnam right now.
Good. It's not all that important. Just hand it to her when she comes out.
Sure.
Come on, Captain Ramsey. I know something's going on. What's that?
But the patient has been out for several hours.
Oh, that's because he had an injection of phenobarbital.
That stuff must be dynamite.
Well, if you mean it's potent, it certainly is. Sometimes the patient is a little groggy afterwards, but that's just a side effect. Phenobarbital is a very good barbiturate.
Bud?
Yeah. Hey, you all right?
You know, my problem is I've been thinking more like a police commissioner and less like a WSB agent. And where Putnam's concerned, we're talking about a diabolical mind here. It's going to take every trick in the book and then some to bring this one in. Jesse.
Want me to get him?
Let's be this low-key. We don't want to arouse any more suspicion.
Gentlemen. Hello, Robert. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to call headquarters.
Yeah, sure, mate. Do you have a moment, Anthony?
Yeah, of course I do.
Good.
I didn't have a chance to congratulate you. The job that you did on Andrews was excellent. And I know that Celia really does feel safer now that he's in jail.
Ellen, could you excuse us just for a second? Because I've got to discuss some matters with him.
Yes, certainly.
A little before that.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'd like to have a word with you.
Oh, I gathered. So what's up?
A few questions, critical ones.
All right, I'll try.
Phenobarbital. Does it leave any trace in the bloodstream?
No. It leaves the bloodstream about 4 hours later.
What would happen if a person was injected with it?
Depends on the dosage.
Well, could it knock them out for several hours?
Easily.
What would the after effects be?
Not too much, just a little bit of nausea, dizziness.
That's it?
Yeah, why?
Dr. Cunningham.
Come here.
What's wrong?
Sit down. We've got to talk.
Why?
You're right.
About what?
Everything.
You mean about Grant Putnam?
He's as guilty as hell. At least that's the way it's starting to look.
But what happened?
We found the missing part of the puzzle. The part about your husband's story that we couldn't explain.
About being knocked out.
The blow on the head was to put him out. The injection was to keep him out.
The injection? I don't understand.
Now, the problem was how Grant Andrews could have remained unconscious for 4 hours and then come to feeling only a little bit groggy, but otherwise none the worse for wear.
And with no trace of drugs in his system.
I'll bite. How?
Phenobarbital.
That's a drug.
Right. An injection of which would not be detected in the bloodstream after 4 hours, but would keep him out for that long, after which he'd simply wake up. He'd feel a little bit groggy, but otherwise be okay.
Pretty neat, huh?
So Grant Putnam injected him with phenobarbital?
Well, that's just a guess, but we figured that's what must have happened.
So you believe me now? About everything?
Well, we gotta prove it.
How do we do that?
Good question.
The best thing for us right now is that Putnam remains a patient here for quite a while.
See, we're racing against the clock.
Methinks this one's gonna go right down to the wire.
What can I do?
All right. As soon as we determine where to start, we're gonna split up the legwork. And the most important thing for you at this point is to protect yourself. The best way for that to happen is if Grant Putnam stays in this hospital for as long as possible.
This is appalling.
You're telling me. A 4-run lead going into the 9th and they blow it. I mean, talk about choke artists.
No, not that. This.
Oh, look, if it's a bill, throw it with the rest. I'll get to him later.
This is worse than a bill.
Nothing is worse than a bill.
This is an invitation to an engagement party.
What's so appalling about that?
Celia and Grant Putnam.
Hi. Are we alone?
Yeah. Holly's at the gourmet store.
Good.
You seem upset.
Well, it's just all this time I'm having to spend alone with Grant Putnam. Everything he says, everything he asks me has this accusatory ring to it.
You think he may be onto you?
No, I don't think so. Suspicious, maybe. He was very nervous about my trip to England.
I know, that's what this engagement's all about.
I had to prove to him I'm on his side.
It's a dramatic undertaking.
It was the only way, believe me.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You're going to have to be very, very careful around him.
Yes. But don't worry, he's responding very well. All I have to do is bat my eyelashes and he rolls over like a lovesick puppy.
I'll assume that your reason for stopping by is more than to just get a reply to the invitation.
That's the excuse. The reason is to find out where you stand now on Grant Andrews' innocence.
So far, everything you've said checks out. It seems like a frame-up.
Finally an ally.
The clincher was the phenobarbital. It's the perfect explanation as to why Grant was out so long. It leaves no trace and is accessible enough to a man with Putnam's knowledge and expertise.
Then you're convinced?
Enough to continue the investigation.
But you've got the bench, the nightgown, and now this. What more do you need?
This time I've got to be a lot more thorough. If this thing's going to stick, I've got to uncover every lie that Putnam ever told.
Such as?
Like the time you thought you saw Tanya kissing your husband when Grant swore he wasn't there. Then there was this free ski trip, the accident on the mountain. It's all too coincidental.
Well, what can I do?
What I've been suggesting all along, lay low.
I can't do that.
You have to.
Why?
Because a job like this is best left to professionals.
Robert, normally I'd agree with you, but this case is entirely different. It was my testimony against Grant that put him in jail. Now, I can't rest until I help to get him out.
All right, Celia.
Let me take responsibility for this, please. I don't think I've ever taken responsibility for anything in my life before. I think it's about time I've started.
All right. But officially, I've got to state my objections.
Duly noted.
He's a dangerous man, Celia.
Yes, and fortunately for both of us, he's still in the hospital, which is why I think we should take this opportunity and act on these new points as quickly as possible.
All right. I'll start with this travel agency you obtained that free trip from.
Good. And while you're doing that, I will meet with the dean of the medical school and see if that meeting at the browsing room could possibly have been arranged by Grant Putnam.
I don't have to tell you to be discreet.
It will be a very polite meeting.
Fine, but no matter what the news, you report back to me and me only.
I will. You're the only one I can talk to about this, Robert.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
Oh, this is a surprise.
Yeah, I said the same thing, love.
Hello, how are you, Holly?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be better. Did you get the invitation?
Yes, and if you have a minute, I've got a thing I'd like to say to you about it.
Well, this is where I bow out. Paperwork you wouldn't believe. Have a good day, love.
Bye. Well, where would you like me to start?
An explanation might be nice.
Robert Scorpio, Police Commissioner.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm making some inquiries regarding a ski trip you people organized last February.
This was for you.
No, the name was Andrews, Grant and Celia. I believe it was all expenses paid, and Mount Alpine was the final result.
It doesn't sound familiar to me.
I believe it was sort of a promotion.
As far as I know, we're not involved in that sort of thing. But then again, I wasn't with the agency in February.
Do you know who might have been responsible?
Yes, that would be Miss Block. She was in charge then.
Can I speak with her?
No, I'm afraid not. She left the agency in early spring to go to New York.
Is she still there?
No, she came back here looking for work. We didn't have an opening. I think she applied to the agency at the Port Charles Hotel, but she didn't follow through. It just so happens we got a postcard from her in Morocco.
Can I see it?
Yes, of course, I have it right here.
It lists her hotel.
Yes, she wanted us to forward her mail.
May I use your phone? I will bill it to police headquarters.
Be my guest.
Thank you. Normally I would make a call like this from home, but that's one place I'm trying to avoid at the moment.
Oh, problems?
Of the domestic variety.
Furthermore, I think your timing couldn't be worse. Get engaged, fine, but at least wait until the divorce is final before going public.
I had thought about doing that.
Well, in my opinion, not hard enough.
Well, there were other things to consider.
I'd love to know what.
I'm afraid it's none of your business.
Well, then what are you doing here? Why bother sending us an invitation if you knew I wouldn't approve?
I thought you would.
Well, then you obviously don't know me very well.
No, apparently not.
Celia, the trial is still fresh in everybody's minds. Besides that, you're still married to Grant. Grant Andrews. The door is just closed on him, and now you're involved with Grant Putnam.
Holly, I can't talk about it.
All I need is a logical reason to all of this.
You'll have to wait.
For what?
Things are just so involved right now, I can't discuss them. You're just going to have to trust me when I say that I know what I'm doing.
That is a lot easier said than done.
I have to go now. I have a meeting with the dean of the medical school. Holly, I'd hoped you'd be happy for me.
I wish I could say I was. I'm sorry, Celia.
So am I. Hello?
Hello, Holly. This is Grant Putnam calling. By any chance, is Celia there?
No, she left.
Did she say where she was going?
Yes, she said something about going to a meeting with the dean of the medical school.
I see.
Is there anything else?
No, that's all. You've been very helpful. Thank you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Commissioner, go ahead.
I've had a little trouble tracking you down.
I switched hotels yesterday. Hard to find a good room in Morocco, much less good food or company.
I can imagine.
You said this had something to do with the Andrews.
Yes. It was a free ski trip that you arranged for them.
I remember it well.
Well, they're telling me here that it was some kind of promotion. Is that true?
Do you promise not to tell anyone?
Cross my heart.
Well, the trip was a gift from a friend of theirs, a wonderful, generous man who happens to be my employer now.
Oh, really? That's very interesting.
Yes, I'm looking for houses for him here in Morocco.
Look, I'm sorry. Perhaps I missed it, but did you mention his name?
It's Grant Putnam.
I see. Well, thank you very, very much, Miss Block. You've been a big help.
Did you get what you wanted?
Oh, and then some. Thanks for your time.
I imagine you're surprised to see me.
Not at all. Celia came and talked to me yesterday.
Good. I got one thing to say. That is, I'm sorry, and I made a mistake. You told me once before that I would eventually learn the truth, and I'm just about there, unfortunately. That's not going to save you from this inconvenience and humiliation.
But you do now believe that I was telling the truth all along.
I do. And I want to apologize for taking this long to get to it.
We all make mistakes. I've made some big ones in my lifetime.
Well, it's a lousy defense, but Putnam's pretty clever.
You don't have to tell me that.
He dropped so many clues that it was easy building a case against you. Now that I look back on it, it was too easy. I shouldn't have missed it first time round, but that's no consolation.
What was it that changed your mind? Talking with Celia?
She planted the shadow of doubt, but I still wasn't convinced. The one part of your story that didn't hold up was the fact that you were out for that period of time. But you came to with no effects except a slight amount of grogginess, but no trace of drugs in the bloodstream.
I know. That's the one thing I still don't understand.
Phenobarbital.
What?
The knock on the head was just to put you out for a few minutes. Then a shot of phenobarbital was administered.
How the hell did I overlook that? There are no side effects except grogginess, and it clears the system very quickly.
It could easily have kept you out for 4 hours.
Putnam didn't miss a trick now, did he?
Apparently not. But once we'd found that out, the rest of it kind of fell into place. There are still a few holes, but we're finally on the right track.
Yeah, take it from me, you are.
Well, we're not home free yet. We're going to prove all of this.
That's not going to be easy. Take it from me, I tried it once myself already.
We're going to get to it in time, but it could take a while. You okay? I mean, you getting any trouble from the guards or inmates?
No, nothing I can't handle.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. Now that I know there's some hope, I can take anything they want to give me. But please, watch out for Celia. She's the one who could be in danger.
Hello?
Robert, it's Celia.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm sorry to call you so late, but it's the first chance I got to call.
I'm glad you did. I was afraid to call you in case Putnam was around.
Well, he's here now, so I can't talk long.
I went to see your husband today.
How is he?
Well, he seems to be holding up pretty well.
Did you tell him you believe his story?
Yes, and I apologize for taking so long to do it.
Well, that must have encouraged him.
I think so.
But I've explained we've got a long way to go here.
I know. I need to talk to him, too. I've got some important information.
What?
Well, I'd rather not talk about it right now. Grant might wake up at any minute. May I come over?
Yeah, by all means. So listen, we should be able to talk here privately, at least for a while.
What about Holly?
She's at a meeting for this charity ball. Those affairs generally don't break up till about 11 or so.
Fine. Well, I'll try to get rid of Grant, and then I'll be right over.
Celia, you be careful.
Oh, yes, I'm nothing but these days. See you soon.
That's what he said. I know he's got to be feeling better now that he knows there's a definite possibility of getting out of prison.
Yes, well, not a moment too soon, either.
Now, what's your news?
Dr. Borden called me. He was calling from Campbell's fishing shack. He said that he found a tape that Campbell had made while he was in this country.
About Putnam?
Mm-hmm. And one of the tapes strongly suggested that Grant had something to do with Campbell's murder.
Campbell said this himself?
Yes, on tape. Something to the effect that if this particular recording were heard, that would mean that Campbell were dead and that Grant Putnam killed him.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Borden also says that Campbell suspected that Grant had something to do with Ian's death. I'll go a step further and say that I'm convinced of it. I know that Grant had something to do with Ian's so-called accident.
Why do you say that?
Something that Grant said earlier this evening. He was taking painkillers and he was drowsy. His guard was down, which is something that doesn't happen too often.
What do you say?
He was talking about Ian, how he resented him, how he had beaten him. While he was talking, this incredible look of hatred passed his face. Oh, it was awful. I could barely even sit there.
Well, what's Borden going to do now?
He's going to gather together Campbell's notes and the tapes and bring them over here.
When?
Well, as soon as he can talk to the people at Rockmore Institute and tell them that he needs a leave of absence. He should be in this country very soon.
Good.
Until then, can't we put Grant Putnam away?
On what charge?
Well, we know what he's done.
But it's not enough. We can't even prove it.
Can't we?
Not yet. Look, right now we have a number of suspicions. We don't have any solid fact. Our case against Putnam is a purely circumstantial one. Now we're close, but we can't book him yet. Maybe with Borden's information we can. In the meantime, we sit still and wait.
Well, I just hope we can hold out that long.
We can, if we're careful. In particular, you.
Don't worry.
Wait a minute, Celia. I mean it. This is where the whole thing gets very dangerous. In that light, no more investigating on your own.
Robert, we're so close.
Listen, your main concern is to keep the guy happy and unsuspecting. If he gets an inkling as to what we're doing, I don't even want to think about it.
Robert, there is nothing anyone, not even you, can say that will stop me from doing all I can to put Grant Putnam in prison for life.
I know how you feel about
I
this.
put my own husband in jail. I'm going to do my damnedest to get him out. So what's my next move? Tell me, Robert, where do I go from here?
Change your mind?
Yes. I thought you were shaving.
Well, I was. Dress is a knockout. Why have you changed your mind?
I've changed my mind about more than just the dress.
Oh?
I can't bring myself to go to Celia's engagement party. There's no reason for you to be upset. You're perfectly free to go without me.
I know, love. But I want to go with you.
I told you I don't want anything to do with it.
And I'm asking why.
Because Celia is not only being spiteful to Grant Andrews, she's being downright callous.
Callous in what way?
In every way, and I think her timing is abominable.
Holly, come on. You know, be a little bit charitable. I mean, you know, she's been through quite a bit lately. When it's all said and done, she displayed a lot of loyalty to her husband.
Naturally, you defend her.
Why naturally?
Because ever since she did what you want and testify against her husband, it's very apparent who you're favoring.
You saying that justice wasn't done at that trial?
One thing isn't the same as the other.
Maybe it is.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Robert, you can't say something like that and then say it means nothing.
Well, I'm sorry.
And sorry won't do. Neither will any of those vague, cryptic remarks you've been making lately.
All right. Look, I'll try to be a little more explicit in future. But hey, come on. What's the point of punishing me when you're angry at Celia?
I'm not trying to punish you, Robert. I just can't be sociable under these circumstances.
If I was to say to you that I couldn't possibly think of going to this party tonight without my wonderful, gorgeous wife in my arms, what would you say? Holly, please.
I am so glad you both could make it. Holly, your dress is absolutely divine.
Thank you.
You look divine as well, Robert.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Ellen. I feel divine. In fact, I'm delighted to be here.
This is a great occasion, and I believe that this is the reason over here. Good luck, Celia, and I know that you know that I mean that.
Yes, I do.
This has been a long time in coming, Grant, but the very best to you.
Thank you, Robin.
Alan, my love, I think we should go to the living room. Lila and Edward look like we can use our help. We're going to fill up there.
Excuse us, will you?
Yes, we'll see you later. All right. I hope. It looks like we have a pretty big crowd.
Well, Holly and I are both in the mood for a big party tonight. You look absolutely sensational, hasn't she, Holly?
Thank you. Yes.
Holly, something wrong?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Robert, why don't you and I go get these gorgeous ladies a couple of glasses of champagne?
Well, you don't do anything on my account.
No, I insist. We can drink a private toast, just the four of us.
Right. Excuse us.
Holly, are you still angry with me?
What makes you say that?
Because I know you.
All right, if you insist. I told you before, but I'll tell you again. This really upsets me.
But you're being silly.
I think that your engagement is incredibly premature.
And I think it's incredibly overdue by about 8 years in my book.
Everything about this evening is inappropriate.
Holly, I'm telling my friends how happy I am tonight.
Are you telling them? Or are you trying to convince yourself?
I love Grant very much. He is kind, considerate, thoughtful, and he has my welfare at heart. And I'm honored that he's asked me to be his wife.
You said that beautifully, Celia, almost as if you'd read it somewhere and memorized it.
That is unfair, Holly.
Well, I think your engagement is unfair. I think it's premature, unfair, and various other things. I'm sorry, but you did ask. Frankly, everything this evening, including your engagement, reeks of artificiality, and I hate being part of it.
I appreciate your candor, Holly, but it just shows how very little you know me. I am very happy, and finally, at long last, I'm going to be marrying the man I thought I was marrying initially. I am very happy. Oh, Grant, there you are.
Oh.
All right so far?
I keep thinking of Gordon.
Have you heard anything else from him?
Still waiting for his call to tell me when he's going to arrive. Can we go now, please? I've had enough.
We'll leave shortly.
I'd rather go now.
Look, there are a lot of people here I should say hello to. Now I've done that, we'll leave, all right?
I suppose it'll have to be. What were you talking to Celia about?
When was that?
Earlier.
I recall. Couldn't have been all that important.
Oh, really? Got the impression that it was.
Take my shoes off.
Your shoes?
Yes. They're new, and frankly, they're killing me. It feels so good just to relax.
You know what? I've just had a great idea. Night is young yet, so why don't we go to the Port Charles Hotel for a nightcap across the bar?
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'd love to do that.
Then it's all settled, Holly.
I think we should call it a night.
And I think Holly's right.
No,
I think we've done more than enough partying for
No,
one night.
it's still early yet.
It's the shank of the evening.
Yes, and I'm still so excited about this lovely party that I know I couldn't sleep yet.
I think we should try.
Nonsense, darling. It's a perfect way to wind down. Besides, it also has a practical aspect.
Oh, what's that?
Well, you see, as Grant here lives at the hotel, it can save him the trouble of taking Celia back to the gatehouse. I mean, you and I can do that.
That really isn't necessary.
But it's perfect. It saves trouble all the way around.
And you'll get to bed that much sooner. You know, since your recent hospitalization, you still look a little pale.
Well, I have to admit, I still tire easily.
Then it's all settled. A nightcap at the bar, and then a good night's sleep all round. Ready, Holly?
If you insist.
Let's go. But we had an agreement. No meetings at police headquarters.
I had to. It's important.
But what if Putnam finds out? I mean, he was acting a little on the weird side last night.
I know. Thank heavens you interceded with that idea of a drink and driving me home.
You think he suspects? I mean, this is no time to get overconfident.
I needed to talk to you, Robert.
Where is he?
He had some work to do. He's going to be at the library all day.
Okay. So what's on your mind?
Isn't there something we can be doing while we're waiting to hear from Dr. Borden?
Help me refute the evidence that got your old man convicted in the first place.
How?
Help me come up with a plan, because as I speak to you, this police commissioner doesn't have one.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner.
Now, I repeat, the more hard evidence we get to prove Putnam's guilt, the better off we're going to be.
But I just don't understand why what Dr. Borden found isn't enough.
Unfortunately, it's not enough to refute any of the evidence that convicted him in the first place, unless, of course, we can get Putnam to confess.
Well, can't we use what we've already found? The skiing weekend, the phenobarbital, the kissing incident in the library, which we know that Grant Putnam engineered.
It's all circumstantial. Now, we're talking about overturning evidence already proven in court.
I guess my change of allegiance won't help much, huh?
Not at this point.
Robert, I suspected this. I really did. I suspected it before, but I was so blind with fear and jealousy that I just didn't see it.
Look, you can't blame yourself. You were manipulated. You were conned by a very clever illusionist.
He was never like that as a kid.
Grant?
Yes, he was shy and studious. He was the kind that always keeps everything to himself. Even in our imaginary games, he couldn't let himself go. I had to do all the imagination. He'd just go along.
Well, apparently he's become a spot more creative.
Yes, I'll admit this plan has been rather ingenious.
We'll see how far this genius takes him.
It won't.
Unless, of course, we can't prove our claim.
We have to. We can't let him win this.
For your sake, I hope not.
I don't want to think about that.
Celia, look, we have to be careful here.
He won't hurt me.
Excuse me, I didn't know you were having a meeting. Hello, Celia.
Hello.
Come in, Bud. What's up?
Well, it's just some reports I wanted you to take a look at if you get time.
Just leave me in. I'll deal with it later.
Well, there's no hurry, just whenever you get to it.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, no.
What's up?
Oh, mud. Oh, look at my
mud.
shoes. Yeah, they were watering the grounds outside. Oh, look at your rug.
You've tracked it everywhere.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll get maintenance to come and clean it. Ugh.
Wait a minute. Listen, bring me those
plaster casts of the footprints that were made down by Putnam's boathouse.
Huh? Sure. Right away.
Okay. Thank you, Bert.
Sorry.
I don't understand why you
The
want...
first piece of hard evidence that we have to refute is the fact that Grant Andrews never set foot by that boathouse. Thought so.
What?
I should have noticed this before. Here, take a look.
What am I looking for?
Any differences between the two?
Well, there's a right boot and a left boot.
Well, apart from that.
One's a little larger.
Which one?
The left.
What do you mean exactly by larger?
The impression is deeper.
Aha! The key word. Deeper.
But I don't understand, Robert. We've already established that these are Grant Andrews'
Right.
boots. Jake went along with
Right. Okay, I'm not denying that. The point is, who was wearing them on the day?
But I don't see how the depth of the impression is going to establish that.
But you do agree that the left one is deeper.
Significantly deeper.
Right. Now, that means that whoever was wearing these boots on the day down by the lake favored his right leg.
I see.
Grant Andrews ever have a limp?
No, he didn't. But Grant Putnam hurt his leg in that skiing accident.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I recall seeing him around the hospital, but I don't remember which leg it was.
I do. It was his right. He had a cast on for nearly a month.
Oh, his right leg.
Which means he would be favoring it and thereby putting more weight on the left foot.
Thus making a deeper impression down by the lake.
It's a very interesting theory, but how on earth do we prove it?
Well, we have to reenact the little episode down by the lake.
How do we get him to do that?
Well, I didn't need him in boots or anything. I mean, it's not the tread we're after at this point. It doesn't matter. It's the impression which is important.
So first off, we need some mud.
Right. Gatehouse.
Oh, no. I've been doing all I can to keep him away from there.
Yeah, I see your point.
I've got it. The park. I will surprise him at the library with a picnic and the suggestion that we eat it in the park.
Right. I'll wet down the area, and then all you got to do is get him to walk through it.
Just tell me where.
The entrance to the park, there's a bench with some bushes behind it.
The first bench you see when you come in?
Right. Now, I'll wet down the area, make a nice little quagmire out of it, and then, well, I don't know how you're going to do it. But you got to get him to walk through it.
1 o'clock, all right?
Yeah, perfect. But listen, he must not be suspicious at this point that we're onto him.
Oh, don't worry. I have no intention of being the next one on his list.
You be careful, Celia.
Just pray it works.
Do you think he knew we were here?
No. I just think he happens to be a very careful man.
What do we do next?
Back to the drawing board.
Robert, but I can't bear the thought of my husband being in prison and me out here doing nothing for him.
Look, the best thing you can do for your husband at the moment is to look after yourself.
Well, he wouldn't be locked up if it weren't for me.
Yeah, well, Putnam had a big say in that. Look, I don't have to tell you that we're dealing with one very dangerous guy here.
Well, I know how to handle him.
Well, if you do, you're the only one. You're already in this up to your neck. Get in any deeper, no telling what might happen.
I might be able to help free my husband even sooner.
You might also wind up dead.
Take my chances.
But I can't allow that to happen.
Robert, how are you going to get Grant Putnam's footprints without my help?
Look, I'll manage. Now, look, you forget about the prints and anything else to do with this case, except, of course, protecting yourself. Look, you shouldn't even be here.
I was very careful. I drove Grant to the university. I watched him while he walked into the classroom, and then I drove over here. I waited until Holly left. Then I rang...
I forgot the key to my cash box next. See?
Holly.
What is this? What's going on around here?
That while I was in the area and having several appointments, why not pop in and say hello to Robert? What?
Save it.
Pardon?
The song and dance.
I don't understand.
Neither do I. Is it unreasonable to expect my best friend and my husband to treat me as anything more than a fool?
What do you mean?
It's obvious that something is going on here. A 4-year-old could see that.
Holly, don't be silly.
Why should I be any different to you two?
As I said, I just stopped in to say hello, but now I really must be going. Let's have lunch sometime, all right? I'll call you soon. Bye, Robert.
Bye.
Well?
Shouldn't you be getting to the spa?
You and Celia are having an affair, right?
I think you know me better than that.
Well, then what is going on? Robert!
I heard.
Well, then answer.
I can't. Look, I care too much about you to see you put in any sort of a dangerous situation.
I'm waiting.
For what?
For you to pat me on the head, give me a lollipop, and send me on my way.
Oh, Holly, look.
Take a good look at me. Touch me. You see, I won't break. I'm not a china doll. What can I do to prove that to you? I'm probably just as good a detective as you are. In fact, I'll prove it to you.
Holly? Holly!
Morning.
Oh, hello, Josh.
Any trouble getting in?
Even because of the wind?
Yeah, it's really cranked up out there.
No, but I'm glad I wasn't riding a bike into us. Otherwise, I didn't think I'd have made it.
Yeah, there's a storm brewing for sure. Inside as well as out.
Oh, and what's that cryptic comment supposed to mean?
Well, I've got some information for you.
You do? I might just make a detective out of you yet. What's that?
Mrs. Barrington. I mean, she got real ticked off at Leo the other day. And from what I saw, she couldn't decide whether to hit him or to cry.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't get close enough to find out what they were talking about, but whatever it was, she wasn't too thrilled about it.
Oh, that's curious.
Yeah, I just thought you might like to know.
Yeah, I do. Thanks. Thanks for being my eyes and ears, Josh.
Anytime.
Is she in today?
Who?
Mrs. Barrington? The lady we were just talking about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she is, actually. Yeah, that's what's so strange. You know, I would have bet a week's salary that she wouldn't show. But she's here, as if nothing happened.
Well, maybe nothing did.
Believe me, if you saw what I did, something happened, and Leo knows about it.
Yeah, well, wouldn't surprise me.
Hey, wait till you catch her act today.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Well, she's trying too hard. You know how you can always tell when people are, like, working overtime to try to make you think everything's normal?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Mrs. Barrington. It is, I'm telling you, she was gone crazy.
She's here.
I'm leaving.
Okay, here. Mrs. Barrington?
Yes.
I thought you might like to have a sneak preview of some of the new items we got into the boutique.
Oh, well, maybe not today.
Well, I don't think they're going to be around for long. Some of them are just fantastic. We have a whole new line of exercise clothing. Really, they're almost so good you wouldn't want to wear them for workout.
Well, I think I've just about had it for the workout.
Pardon?
Not today. Some other time, dear.
I've got some really nice robes, too. I think you'd like them.
I'm really not interested, Holly.
Something wrong?
But why did you say that?
Well, you seem a little out of sorts.
Do I? I'm sorry.
Something bothering you?
No, nothing important.
You can tell me, you know.
Well, there's nothing to tell.
Mrs. Barrington, please forgive my frankness, but I don't believe you. Obviously, something or someone is upsetting you, and I'd really like to help you if I can, but there's nothing I can do if you don't tell me what the problem is.
Well, it's personal.
Well, whatever you tell me, I assure you will be kept in the strictest of confidence. You know, I saw the same thing happen to Sylvia Whitby. She was obviously depressed about something, and after a time she stopped coming here altogether. I'd hate to see that happen to you.
Well, it already has.
What? What happened?
Well, if I
There you are.
Will you...
Oh, weren't you expecting me?
Hello,
Hello,
Leo.
Mrs. Scorpio.
Hello.
Do you know what time it is?
I know.
It's time for your massage. Don't tell me you forgot.
Well, yes, well, no, not exactly. I just don't want a massage today.
Oh, nonsense. As your physical consultant, I simply will not allow you to do this to yourself. You've been awfully tense lately.
Why do you think that is?
I think one of my special massages will be just the best thing in the world for you.
Yes, but...
Excuse us, right this way?
But
no, I know what's best.
What do you think?
Well, there is definitely something wrong with her.
Yeah, the guy she walked off with.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm determined to find out.
You think that's safe?
Sure. You been talking to my husband?
No. Why?
Well, you sound just like him.
No kidding.
Well, this is one mystery that Police Commissioner Robert Scorpio is not going to stop me from solving. He can have as many secrets as he likes with my former best friend.